Breaking news. Major update from the Los Angeles Chargers. Brendan Rice, the name that's been quietly sitting in the shadows, is now making headlines. If you're a Chargers fan, this is something you've been waiting for. A player who once seemed forgotten is now turning heads, and today we're diving deep into his surprising return. But first, before we get into the latest Chargers news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss any breaking updates. All right, let's jump into it. Now back to the story. Brendan Rice, yes, that Brendan Rice, son of NFL legend Jerry Rice, is finally back in action for the Chargers. Drafted in the 7th round, many fans weren't sure what to expect. Add in a shoulder injury that put him on injured reserve, and his rookie season faded away quietly. But now, he's back on the field at OTAS and making noise. In one standout moment, Rice hauled in a deep pass from Justin Herbert, reminding everyone why there was so much curiosity around him in the first place. For a team still figuring out its wide receiver depth, this is big. With last year's disappointment from Quentin Johnston and fresh rookies entering the room, Rice is fighting to earn his spot. It's a crowded receiver group, but this could be his moment to shine. More updates coming, and what's next for Rice might surprise you. Now, let's talk about the wide receiver room for the Los Angeles Chargers, and how Brendan Rice fits into it. Right now, the top names expected to lead the charge are Mike Williams, Quentin Johnston, and Ladd McConkey, a strong trio. But behind them, competition is intense. Players like Darius Davis, Trey Harris, Keandre Lambert-Smith, Jalen Reagor, and Jalen Guyton are all fighting for a spot. And then there's Brendan Rice, the wild card. If Rice can crack the top 6, he likely makes the final roster. That's a huge deal for a 7th-round pick. Let's not forget, this is a guy who once dominated at Colorado, showing off big play speed and smooth route running. Then he transferred to USC, where he proved he could make an impact at a high level. Yet somehow, during the draft, he slipped all the way to the 7th round. The story is even more emotional. Rice wasn't even attending the draft live. He was reportedly at a funeral when the Chargers called his name. Imagine that moment, one phone call changing your life forever. Many fans were shocked. Wait, that's Jerry Rice's son? Yes, it is. Now entering year 2, Rice has a real chance to flip the script. Year 1 was quiet, injury setbacks, low reps. But year 2, that's when players often take a leap. We're all focused on the new rookies, and sure, that's exciting. But sometimes, the most surprising rise comes from a second-year player who's been quietly waiting for his moment. Brendan Rice might just be that guy for the Chargers this season. Let's break it down, because this could quietly become one of the biggest stories for the Los Angeles Chargers. There was a time when many experts believed Brendan Rice would be picked on day 2 of the NFL draft. He had the speed, solid route running, and the bloodline. Instead, he fell to day 3, a 7th-round selection. But here's the thing. Players like that often carry a chip on their shoulder, and that fire can't be measured. Last year, he barely saw the field. A shoulder injury kept him sidelined for most of the season, and eventually, he was placed on injured reserve. But what if this year is different? What if Rice stays healthy? What if he's already stacking days at practice and quietly building chemistry with Justin Herbert? That could change everything. Now zoom out for a second. Look at the Chargers roster as it stands. Imagine if Joe Alt develops into one of the league's elite offensive tackles, something he's absolutely capable of. Add Ladd McConkey, who's already showing signs of being a high-level target. And then there's Arjon Gadsden, a second-year tight end who's starting to catch serious attention. Reports say Jim Harbaugh loves what he's seeing from the big tight end. Gadsden isn't just catching passes, he's also showing strength in blocking, making him a more complete weapon than many expected. This is what makes the situation exciting for Chargers fans. Everyone talks about the shiny new rookies, but it's the second and third-year players who could unlock this team's true potential. If guys like Quentin Johnston finally step up, if Rice and Gadsden find their rhythm, then this offense suddenly looks dangerous. And if that happens, the Chargers don't just improve, they contend. Last season, Justin Herbert quietly played some of the best football of his career. But it didn't make as many headlines, not because he lacked skill, but because the spotlight shifted elsewhere. That spotlight was on the Chargers' defense, and for good reason. This defense became the heart and soul of the team. They weren't just solid, they were dominant. Relentless pressure, smart schemes, and big-time stops became their identity. They didn't just keep the Chargers in games, they won them. Whether it was forcing turnovers, shutting down drives, or getting key stops on fourth down, this unit set the tone. In fact, they finished as one of the top-scoring defenses in the league, holding opponents to fewer points than anyone expected. And here's the key. When your defense plays at that level, everything else becomes easier. But for the Chargers to reach the next level in 2025, there's one piece they must improve: the run game. Last season, the Chargers struggled to move the ball on the ground. They lacked consistency, explosive runs, and that downhill power that controls the clock. But that's where Jim Harbaugh's vision comes in. Harbaugh believes in physical football, and that starts with running the ball. Around the league, the ground game is making a comeback. Look at teams riding stars like Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Derrick Henry. They're shortening games, grinding down defenses, and staying in control. This isn't about going back in time. It's about playing smart, tough football, running the ball, keeping the clock moving, and making life easier for the quarterback. For the Chargers, the formula is clear. Keep the defense elite, establish the run, and let Justin Herbert go to work when it matters most. That's how you build a team that wins, not just in the regular season, but deep into January. NFL defenses have changed. They're lighter up front, playing with fewer defenders in the box. Why? Because they're daring quarterbacks to beat them through the air while protecting against the deep ball. And it worked, for a while. But teams across the league have responded. They're shifting back toward power running, using strong offensive lines and downhill backs to punish lighter defenses. Now, defenders are being asked to bulk up again, especially linebackers, who need to be more physical than ever. This constant push and pull, pass heavy versus run heavy, is exactly where the Los Angeles Chargers find opportunity. The Chargers are building something special, a balanced, physical team that can adapt to any style of football. We've already seen what this defense can do: fast, smart, and aggressive. It shut down opponents all last season, proving it could win games on its own. And now, paired with a more efficient run game and a healthy Justin Herbert, the Chargers' offense has the tools to complement that defense perfectly. Imagine this: Brendan Rice breaks through as a reliable playmaker. Add that to a receiving corps already stacked with talent, and suddenly Herbert has even more options. Combine that with a powerful run game, the kind Jim Harbaugh loves, and you've got a formula that keeps defenses off balance. That's the direction this team is heading. Every move the Chargers have made this offseason shows a clear strategy: smarter, tougher football. And the best part? This isn't just about one season. This is a foundation that can carry the Chargers forward, not just to compete, but to contend for years to come.